State House. It's not making sense. State House has been allocated 12 billion.
12?
Yes, for this year. Now, when State House is allocated 12 billion for its separations, it means it has been allocated, if you divide by 365 days, State House is constantly gobbling 32 billion every day. They are eating 32 billion every day. Sorry, million. 32 million every day. In an hour, State House is consuming 1.3 million. Every hour, there's 1.3 million being consumed at State House. It looks like it's a small amount of money. But now contrast that with what they've done. School feeding program. Yani watoto wote wa primary wa Kenya, they are 10 million. They've been given 3 billion. In fact, in this budgetary proposal, they are proposing to cut 600 million from school feeding program. Yani 10 million children across the country, munawapatia 3 billion, alafu munaona ni mingi, munaanza kusema mupunguze by 600 million. Then there is a useless institution. By then nilikuwa nimesema, there's a useless institution called State House, and I call it useless. If there is a parastatal, you know, when you're nasema privatize. If there's one thing we need to privatize, is State House, because it's the only place we spend a lot of money and then get no value back. So mkabla museme ati sijui muta privatize Kenya Ports Authority, muta privatize sijui Kenya Pipeline, the first thing you need to privatize is State House. Because our money is spent there, we don't live there, and we get zero benefits from State House.
But Obuya goes there once in a while for...
So they have to change the dynamics of... And then by the way, wanaenda tena and allocate Office of the President, 4.6 billion. Ile Harambe House aendangi, si tunajua president wetu anashindanga juu ya Land Cruiser huko juu, na saa zile yuko juu ya Land Cruiser, ako kwa meetings za empowerment. Na saa zile yuko kwa meetings za empowerment, maybe once in a while ako State House. Sasa hii Harambe House first ilipatiwa 2.3 billion ya renovation. Then imepatiwa another 4.6 billion. Yes, Harambe House too. Na watoto wote wa Kenya mnasema 3 billion is too much for feeding, for food. Nimejaribu kudivide. Nikaona, but if you take 3 billion, and I challenge Kenyans, chukua tu calculator, 3, then I want you to put 9 zeros. A billion has got 9 zeros. So take 3, put 9 zeros. Then I want you to divide by 365 days. And then you divide by 10 million children. Imagine wamepatiana 60 cents per child per meal in Kenya.
Fellow Kenyans, we are living under the most useless regime Kenya has ever had and will ever have. Imagine, we have leaders so greedy, so selfish, so self-centered, so incompetent. Just try to think about how a person can allocate himself almost or nearly 20 billion shillings when Kenya is facing crises and debts that are unpayable. Imagine a person allocating himself 1.4 million shillings every hour just for nothing. Yet this money can be used to develop our country. Imagine a person allocating himself almost 32 million per day in the name of State House. I want to tell you, Kenyans, you made a very big mistake by electing a one president who is the 5th president of Kenya. This man is so greedy. We say or we talk about Raila Amolo Odinga being greedy, but where? This one is unfathomable. You can't even comprehend. Someone so selfish. I just want us to wonder a little bit. State House has been allocated 12 billion shillings just for the operations that undergo in that house. And for you to know, State House is the house of the people, the house of Kenyans. That is why it is called a house which is for the state. It is a state house, a house for the state, a house for the Kenyan people. But I want you to know, when it is allocated 12 billion, just know there is a child somewhere who is waiting and eager to have a good education. Yet in that budget, that very same budget, over 10 million students, 10 million learning children are allocated 3 billion shillings. Which means when you divide that money, you divide it by 365 days, which constitutes an year. Then you divide to all those 10 million children, or you can say students. each one of them gets 0.6 or 60 cents a day. Yet we have someone who thinks, okay, we can't say anything because he's the president, but who thinks everything should revolve in him or around him. So, where did humanity go? All this money for just selfish agendas. You know, these people acquire this money so that they can go and bribe you. You know, when they come for those economic empowerment forums and they come there and dish you money, and you think, oh, this man loves our area, this man loves our constituency, this man loves our county, that is why he's doing all of this for us. Yet, one thing you don't know, it is your taxpayers' money. It is the taxes that you pay. Imagine, Kenyans are enriching some few people in the government. That will not go without saying even the MPs are in on it. Our MPs are the facilitators of all the shenanigans that is happening in Kenya right now. Now, it is hard even for me to think that one person has allocated himself 12 billion, then that 12 billion goes to State House. Just know there are some money for renovations, which maybe I have not included there. Then this man has an office in town where he has allocated himself 4.6 billion without adding the 2 point something billion that is meant for renovation, an office which he never even enters. Tell me the last time that the president was in the office. No day you will see the president in the office. Where we always see him is in the car's rooftop, or maybe in a rally somewhere, or maybe at a burial, because, you know, these people with the death, they are all the same. They love funerals. That is where they go and push their agendas. Or you will find him in these economic forums. And if you will not find him there, then this man, he is in an aeroplane flying outside the country to somewhere, God knows, wherever. But Kenyans, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. We need selfless leaders. We need people who have the Kenyan interest at heart. We don't need puppets. Because even these leaders, you find them, they come with very sweet words. Yet, there is some powers outside the Kenyan borders where they receive instructions. I want to give you a simple example. When the president of Burkina Faso, who is this young man, Toure, imagine US sent a general by the name of Langley. Imagine General Langley came to Kenya. Yet we know, we are brothers and sisters. We are African people. And they sent a black man to come to eliminate a black man. Yet there is a black man in Kenya trying to facilitate the taking down of another black man who wants good leadership for his country. Where are we heading to? That is my question. Where are we heading to? Because it is very, very sad when we look at everything that is happening in Kenya. Schools and education system is failing. Health, SHA, SHI, and whatever you want to call it, it's failing. Bad roads and, means of transport is failing. There is nothing good happening in Kenya. Yet, people will say, KBB, Kumi Bila break, because maybe they saw some few apartments which even private investors can build for the Kenyan people. People can take mortgages to build their own homes. Can't you see what I'm saying? Imagine, almost 20 billion for 1 year. We have not even added the salary plus, everything that comes with the packages of the president. Like allowances, car allowance, house allowance, medical allowance. And we can go on and go on. Kenya. No. We are heading in a very, very slippery road. If we go like this, where one person can eat up the money of almost 20 million people. Imagine, 20 billion can do so much to transform this country. 20 billion. And that's why I'm telling you, we are living under a very terrible, extremely terrible regime where people are very greedy, gluttonous dogs. They are selfish, very self-centered. All they think it's about themselves and their own. Yet you say, this person is from our tribe and you're there. You are there, languishing in poverty. Your children are learned up to university level, yet they have no jobs. They are useless as you are because you are all at home. You say, this person is from our tribe or our community. Yet that person is the one suppressing the community so that you may live in poverty, so that you may worship him like a god. What don't you understand? What does Kenya need so that people may wake up from this deep slumber? It is so shameful. It is so pathetic. It is so inhumane to see what is going on. In my previous video, I told you about 150 million to buy a software which will be used to spy on Kenyan people. Do you think these people have the best interest for you or for themselves? Because if they spy on you, it means there is something they don't want to hear from you. There is something they don't want the public to know. And I'm telling you, that money that they are looting, that money that they are siphoning, in terms of renovations, in terms of allowances, in terms of this and that, that is the money they come to bribe you in each and every election cycle. Because what you don't understand, if someone can allocate himself 20 billion, which of course it is a lot of money, he can just save up 10 billion, and when election time comes, this man has 50 billion, which he has not even poured a sweat for it. Now, this money can be used to mobilize goons, to do criminal activities, to do whatever these people want to do without even paying from their own pockets. It is the time you wake up. And, I'm just saying an honest opinion. This is my opinion. It doesn't matter how Kenya goes. Because, yes, I might have good interests for Kenyans and our country, Kenya. But if we don't stand up as a collective unit, then our efforts are futile. Our efforts will go nowhere. Our efforts will bear no fruits. You have to know that. So, it is up to you as Kenyans to decide whether you want to enrich few people, you want to enrich few elites of the country, or you want the money that you pay taxes to work for you, to work for your children and the generations to come. So, before I leave, I will play you a clip of a TikTok lady by the name of Gen Z Buddy Wamboi, so that you may understand what we are talking about. It has been Anonymous Whistleblower. Thank you for your time. Please make sure you like, comment, and share, because information is power. The more people will know about this, the more Kenya will be liberated from stupidityness and from the slumber that we are sleeping right now. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel so that we may make a one strong, beautiful family. Signing out. Cheers.
So guys, today the president just signed Finance Bill 2025 as a law. And there's something I really want to highlight. Kuna kitu nimeona kule X and I want to highlight it kwa sababu imeniguza. Being a teacher, that has really me. Yeah, let me show you the screenshot. So this guy is just explaining that State House has been given 12 billion and 10 million children have been allocated 3 billion for food. And he was just telling us, do the math. Take your calculator, angalia 12 billion. I've done the math for you. Let us go through the math. So I've taken the calculator and I've done 12 billion divided by 365 days. Na inakuja 32.8 million. So every day State House imejakia 32.8 million. Nikachukua 32.8 nika divide by 24 hours. So every hour State House inakula 1.4 million. Every passing hour 60 minutes 1.4 million. Wacha tuone watoto 10 million wamekewa 3 billion ya chakula. So that means it's 300 per child the whole year. Ukidivide per day 300 divided by 365. Bro. half term.
Stand by in 3, 2, 1, go.